Live on the Spartan Sports Network, it's Wyomissing Girls Basketball. Live on the Spartan Sports Network, it's Wyomissing Girls Basketball. Brought to you by the new Birdie's Inn, 160 Old Friedensburg Road at 5 Points in Exeter, the home of the best burgers in Berks. Mortgage America, big enough to provide the best rates, small enough to provide personal service. And Goosehead Insurance, the Coley Insurance Group, the power of choice. Now to the Spartan Sports Network broadcast booth. Here's your announcer, Ryan Lineweaver.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome in for some girls hoops this evening as the visiting Hamburg Hawks come into the friendly confines here of Wyomissing Area Senior High School to face off against the Spartans. It is both senior night and it is also youth night here in the house, new gym as they call it. But this evening they'll be welcoming to the court and honoring for their 4 years of service to the Spartans team, Amaya Stewart, Alexis Hardy, Lily Marshall, Audrey Hurlman. They are all, yes, and I did say Audrey Hurlman because she is back here this evening wearing a big old knee brace on that left leg. But she is live and in the flesh just in time for senior night, so we're excited to have her back as well. And then at halftime, my daughter, who is here next to me, will partake in youth night there at midcourt. Say hi, Jam. Nope, just kidding. One of us likes being on the air. The other one doesn't. I don't know what that's about. She is my kid, I swear. But, yeah, exciting, palpable, and a very large crowd here for this girls' game as they take on Hamburg. It is a Berks 3 action here this evening here in Wyo, and it's rounding out the schedule here, especially on the Berks side for both teams, as taking a peek at both of their schedules. Wyo has a little bit more left on the docket. They have a busy back-to-back here. They play Hamburg tonight. They have Schuylkill Valley in what will be an exciting matchup tomorrow evening. Schuylkill Valley currently 8-1 in Berks play. Meanwhile, Wyo still undefeated, 7-0. And their go-around here through their tour of Berks County, as we shall call it. And then they're at Brandywine, at Fleetwood, at Exeter to finish off their schedule. But as for right now, Hamburg, just 2 games left on the docket after they play Wyo. They have a game at home against Fleetwood and then also at Schuylkill Valley, as they will finish up their regular season against the Panthers on February the 3rd. Hamburg coming in, led by Mia Gassert. She is a senior. She averages just a tick over 10 points per game, currently at 10.1. And then you have players like Shayna Morales, you have Nora Davey, and Ashley Guires, all scoring just above 4 points per game, which is where most of the Hawks scoring comes from. And then you take a peek at Wyo, and it should come as no shocker that Amaya Stewart, well, happy to say that she's in form here. 19.4 points per game, 6.5 for Alexis Hardy, who we get to celebrate. Addie Loeb currently averaging 6.3, Casey Maggs 4.8, and Carly Hyde and Lily Paolini right on their heels at 3.9 and 3.6 per game, adding in a little bit of sophomore flair there towards the end. But their 2 top scorers, as we see right now, are Amaya Stewart, are Alexis Hardy, just over and just around 26 points per game, give or take, for the Spartans, and that's where they end up with much of their scoring prowess. They are currently atop the Berks 3 landscape as we see it right now. They are 13-3 overall, 7-0 into the division. Again, Schuylkill Valley 8-1, 12-6 overall. So that should be a really exciting matchup coming up rather shortly. As we get ready here for senior night, take a peek. As Alexis Hardy, the first to be recognized. The older sister of Justice, who is also walking out with her. Justice, of course, an all-Berks selection in football, all-district, and somebody to look forward to. Just a sophomore, a couple of years ahead of him. But as for Alexis, thrilled to see her round out her high school career here. about her favorite memories from playing basketball here at Wyomissing, and of course it was all the memories they made going to states the past couple of years. Two of the finest seasons in Wyomissing girls basketball history. And of course, happy to bring that to you here on the Spartan Sports Network this year. If others won't do it, we will. And you take a peek at your next senior. It will be Lily Marshall and Audrey Hurlman. Say they flipped it on us, so it's going to be Audrey Hurlman. Audrey, again, seeing her first minutes here. Last year, she was an integral part of this lineup. She played in 29 games, averaged 5.8 points per game. She is also the senior class president. The last time she touched a court was all the way back in March of 24 when they lost to Blackhawk 47-31 there in the state semifinals. Before that, she most certainly was a huge help during their playoff run last year. She ended up scoring 10 against Alone Catholic in the District 3 final, and then had 12 against Newman Coretti. She had 10 against North Catholic to help out the Spartans as they made it all the way to the state semifinal last year before dropping to Blackhawk. And also senior class president, if I haven't mentioned that. I think I did. But an impressive resume for Ms. Hurlman. Now you get Lily Marshall. Lily averaging 2.4 points per game this year.
Lily has participated in Best Buddies Club, Spanish Club, YO5 Live, soccer, and
She hit her season high in 3 straight contests. Two of which? 3 of which? All of which we covered? Against Twin Valley, Fleetwood, and at Antietam.
She would like to thank her coaches and family for always supporting her. And she would also like to share the message.
So just a handful of seniors here for the Spartans, despite all of their accolades and returning an awful lot of their starters year over year. And that's why they're expected to do well in BCIAA's districts and states once again this year. And we'd be remiss to not talk about Amaya Stewart. Clearly the most popular player here this evening. And why the heck not? Amaya Stewart, 19.4 points per game. She finished second in the county last year in scoring. So she did a fantastic job during her time. And I mean, you're really going to be hard-pressed to find a better basketball player and arguably a more well-rounded basketball player than who Amaya has become here over the past couple of years. Like I said, she really did a lot of her damage down low as a freshman and then has just added spacing. She's added passing. She's a defensive stud down at the other end. And she will be taking her talents up to sunny Albany, New York to be a Great Dane for the University of Albany. All the way up there and getting that D1 offer. So exciting times for her. And thrilled to continue to watch her progress as she moves on from WYO after this year. But as for now, one of 4 seniors honored here this evening. The personal accolades can wait, but as for now, all the seniors equally loved, adored, and appreciated by their coaches, their school, and their teammates. So it is a great day to be a Spartan, as I said down there at the scorer's table. Amaya hits a gritty. And with that, I think it's about time for the national anthem. So now they're going to hand out a whole bunch of Amaya Stewart handouts here. A little mini student section over there getting to partake. And they finally get everything wrapped up here for senior night. Hopefully my daughter will be able to find her friend somewhere. As she gets tired of being up here with Dad. And surprisingly, still doesn't want a headset. I don't know why. I don't know why. But now we get to go into the starting lineups for both sides. Like I said, Hamburg coming in a little bit on the struggle bus. They've lost 2 out of their last 3. Lost a 15-point effort back on the 18th to Pine Grove. And then beat Tulpehocken by the skin of their teeth 35-32 back on the 23rd before losing to the Northern Lebanon Vikings here back on the 25th by 16. Excuse me. That one, Mia Gassert dropped in 22 points. She was 9 of 10 from the charity stripe, also hit 5 from the field. So they announce the starting lineups now for the visiting Hawks. Ashley Gears will be in there. Shayna Morales also starting here in the first quarter. Asenia Pinter, another starter. And you got Nora Davey. And I'm assuming last but not least will be number 21, Mia Gassert. And it most certainly is. We'll round out the starting lineup here for the Hawks. And it does look like Wyo will be throwing out some senior love here as well. As I spy Hurlman on the bench. So we'll start with a handful of seniors. We got Alexis Hardy getting the loud ovation. And Lily Marshall also hitting the hardwood to start. It will be Audrey Hurlman. Welcome back. Coach Anders very excited to get that senior leader back out on the court. And you got yourself Casey Maggs. And last but not least, Amaya Stewart. Hamburg will be in their road red jerseys. Wyo in their home whites. And at this time, we will take a pause for the national anthem. And when we return, Berks 3 action right here between Wyo and Hamburg. just run through. Want to run through a commercial here, and when we get back, we'll have girls basketball action right here on the Spartan Sports Network.
The new Birdie's Inn is Exeter's family spot with great food and beverages and activities for all ages. There's a full selection of beverages to go with your meal or while you watch a game on one of the 35 TVs. For the kids, there's a family game area, as well as darts and a pool table. You can eat in the indoor dining room or out on the spacious heated deck. The new Birdie's Inn at 160 Old Friedensburg Road at 5 Points in Exeter. Proud sponsors of Berks County High School athletics.
At Birdie's Inn we meet again.
Back here just in time for the opening tip as Amaya wins the tip up ahead to Marshall. That pass is tipped, and, well, let's just pretend none of that happened. Hamburg basketball to start. Some tenacious defense from Hurlman right off the bat, and a tip ball. Nice job by Maggs. Marshall with the interception then, and Stewart splitting some defenders and losing track of where Hurlman was. Ball will go out of bounds. Weil coming out in a full court press here. Hamburg able to break it. Nice job by Hardy getting into the thick of things, causing another Hawks turnover. Eventually we'll slow down here. The first 38 seconds, 3 turnovers. Slow it down. Spartans had a 9-game winning streak at one point this season. That has since been snapped. So that time Hardy, the recipient, down on the low block. Ends up having it tipped away. Nice job by Maggs, picking the pocket that time of Gassert, and she'll swoop on in. Getting her. Spartans are up 2-0. Nice job. Once again, dribbling right into the middle of a double team was Gassert. Excellent job by Maggs and Marshall. Driving baseline was Hurlman. Hurlman loses the handle. It will stay with the Spartans as it goes off of a Hawks ankle. I don't think Wyo realizes that it's actually their basketball. Nice job by Hardy, splitting the trees, dipping in, getting 2. So Senior is up on the board. That one nearly picked off by Marshall as the errant pass to Davy goes off her fingertips into her bench. Gassert will be the primary ball handler for him tonight. Gears chucks it away. Gassert has to go into the backcourt to retrieve it after it was tipped. Maggs will get called for some sticky fingers that time. It'll be the first on Maggs, first on the team. Nowhere to go this time by Gassert. Gassert just chucks it up. That one ends up being intercepted by Stewart, leading the break. Hardy up ahead amongst 2, gets 2. And Hamburg will take a 30-second timeout. We'll stay right here for this one. Promising my daughter here off air that the person who's going to be taking her home from this game recognizes where she's at and where I can bring her. So I know my daughter is safe during the broadcast. It'll be Hawks basketball. Gassert underneath her own basket. Lining up 4 players across that time. Davy will break the press. Now another double team down at the other end, another loose ball. Probably not the idea that they had coming out of the break. Wyo inserting Carly Hyde into the contest. Marshall nearly coming away with the steal that time. Nearly had the offensive board, I should say. Goes out of bounds. Gassert once again the inbounder. Wyo has gotten back on the winning stretch here. Again, kind of an odd stretch of games. Really, another interception here by the Spartans. Really, a lot of their issues have stemmed from their non-league contests. Obviously, with a perfect 7-0 record in Burke's play, but it goes even, a little bit further beyond that. Yes, they lost to Hazleton very early on in the season. They lost to Parkland. As Amaya Stewart dropping the triple, blowing a kiss. Her first bucket. Took almost half the quarter to get there, and it's 9-0 Spartans. That one tipped up into the air. Nice job by Marshall, who ends up recovering the miss. Up ahead, 3 on the way by Hyde. Nothing but twine for Carly Hyde. And it's going to have to be a timeout taken by Hamburg. And we will take one as well. 4:34 left here in the first quarter. 12-0 Spartans. More to come when we return on the Spartan Sports Network.
Discover the power of choice with Goosehead Insurance, the Coley Insurance Group. Coley Insurance Group is a fully independent insurance agency here to put you first. With access to 30-plus top-rated insurance carriers, they ensure you get the best coverage at the best price. Whether it's auto, home, or life insurance, they've got you covered. At Goosehead Insurance, the power of choice is always yours. Call Goosehead Insurance agent Brad Coley today at 484-838-6088.
Back here after the timeout. Apologies if I'm panting, literally sprinted. Trying to get my daughter down from the perch that we have all the way up here, down the steep stairs that we have to traverse every time we get here. It's a shot in the lane that time by Morales goes astray. This one just inside the arc. Also missed by Gassert. It's like I just did the Stairmaster for 20 minutes. Just inside the arc is Mags again. Mags her second. That was Carly Hyde, not Mags. Still her second. 5 points for Mags. 5 points for Hyde. Yeah, let's get that right. Loving that little student section over there. Louder than the actual high school student cheering section right now. Hamburg able to inbound, knocked away by Hardy. He'll stay with the Hawks. 3:25 left here. But again, talking about Wyo's losses here on the year, coming from some strange places, as that one rejected in spades. Back comes Stewart leading the break. Her pass knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with Wyo. But yeah, when you look at it, lost to Hazleton, lost to Middletown, lost to Westtown. All three are not your usual fodder here. As Stewart, her second bucket for 5. Other than that, it's all been cream cheese. As Ella Anders, fresh into the contest, steals it away. Foul. And the first of the game called on Geyers. stay with the Spartans underneath. Really, it's been just those teams. They lost 48-14 to Hazleton. They lost by 22 to Middletown. They lost by 39 to Westtown, as a 3 by Hardy is too strong. Nice job that time by Hyde. Hyde lines up a triple, no good. Stewart ends up banging down low, grabs the offensive board, goes back up and is hacked en route. To the charity stripe she goes. Stewart, over an 81% free throw shooter, and gosh darn it, I did it, didn't I? Announcer curse right off the bat. Misses the first. First trip to the stripe for anybody here this evening. Hits the second half. Now I can actually focus on the game because I'm less focused on making sure my kid gets to her friends. And Hamburg struck by Stewart that time. Sticks with the Hawks. 17-0 Spartans. Probably not quite what Hamburg had in mind here, as that one stolen off the inbound by Hardy. Hardy using that speed, going 3-on-2. Look at Amaya Stewart. There is no answer for that. Not tonight, as Stewart, her third bucket, give her 8. And that time, a little dipsy-do. We'll pull up Jay that time. We're about 10 feet. That one won't go for Morales. The other way, Hardy draws the block. They will say that she is in the act of shooting, so Alexis Hardy already with 4 points. And stretch that to 6 with 2 at the stripe. In and out on the first. Second one for Hardy. That one also off. But it'll belong to Hamburg. Marshall will re-enter. She'll take the place of Hardy. One senior exchange for another. Just over 2 minutes left here in the first quarter. Take a swipe there. Was Marshall, ended up catching Morales in the act of shooting. 2 at the stripe upcoming for Shayna Morales. Hoping to get something going here for Hamburg. Morales, a 47.5% free throw shooter. Clangs the first. 4.7 points per game. She's the Hawks' second leading scorer here. Second one, true to form, gets the Hawks on the board. 1-2 at the stripe. It's 19-1. That one floated up there, no good. Rebound attempt, but it looks like Paolini fresh into the contest. She is fouled going back. Paolini will look to get 2 the hard way. One at 2 at the stripe that time. Coming the other direction, dropping it off on the doorstep, trying to go against Stewart. Yeah, that's not going to work. Back come the Spartans. Stewart eyeing up that near 3. Just off to the left that time. The Hawks happy to not have to deal with any full court pressure this time. (20-1). It was a 19-0 start to this contest as, well, that looked like a carbon copy of the last time. No foul called, but there will be on the offensive board as Della Monica that time able to get in and is fouled. And we'll have 2 at the stripe here for Marcy Della Monica. Della Monica in her 15th game here for the Hawks. Misses the first. 43.8% from the stripe. Second one is good. Under a minute to play here in the first. Looking down low to Stewart. Stewart, oh man. Marshall zigged when she should have zagged. Marshall was expecting her to stay in the corner. Didn't happen that time. The Hawks will have a chance here. Under a minute to play. Driving baseline. That little floater from the far side, not going to cut it. Paolini leading the break. More upcoming here. When we return on the Spartan Sports Network. More upcoming here. When we return on the Spartan Sports Network.
Mortgage America is Berks County's premier local mortgage lender. Why choose Mortgage America? They're a fully licensed regional mortgage banker, not just a broker. They service their own loans and offer a full menu of mortgage programs. Their turnaround times and service are unmatched in the industry, big enough to provide the best rates, yet small enough to provide personal service. Local loans for local homes. Contact Chris 9 at Mortgage America today at 610-376-1755.
Back for second quarter action. Hawks driving in. Not going to get the roll that time, but will get Mia Gassert off the schneid here. And for the Hawks, smart job having her go be aggressive on the first possession here. Certainly will make things a little bit easier. Hits the first and the second. That one barely touched the net as it passed through. And Hamburg still in search of their first field goal as Stewart takes a break. Hurlman replaces her. He's got to see Hurlman down on the low block a bit. That time, not a great pass from Anders. It's tipped out, but retained by the Spartans. Driving in, Anders with the left. Count it and one. She'll go to the stripe looking for 3 the hard way. That one clangs off back iron, no good. Back are the Spartans after the turnover. Anders left that one hanging on the doorstep. Hurlman, nice job tiptoeing around the baseline. Gets it up top to Hardy. Hurlman looking to drive baseline again, nowhere to go with it. Tries to throw it off of a Hawk. Won't work, but it's snagged by Paolini. Now Anders driving in with the right, splitting some defenders up with the left again. Tries clanging it off the backboard, won't go. Finally, Paolini. She's got 3, her first bucket now. And we're up 26-4. Paolini, another turnover, skying up there, not going to get the second. Ends up getting the putback attempt. Pretty sure there was a foul there, uncalled by the baseline referee, so the Spartans will have to start over again. Looking to find a cutter that time in Hardy. The pass was behind her. The Hawks down by 22. Look to keep this moving. Under 6 to play, looking down on the low block. Once again, another turnover. Spartans just tenacious on the defensive end as Anders lining up a triple. Won't get it to go. Paolini instead, another offensive board. Hardy looking for contact, draws the contact, won't get the foul. Won't get the bucket either. Splitting the defense again is Gassert. Gassert clangs that one. Now back comes Paolini. Paolini, a little speed demon that time. Finds a little bit of space and unable to finish again. And we're going to have a block that time called on Hurlman. I believe they're calling it on the floor. Trio of subs for the Spartans. Mags. It'll be Stewart. And it looks like Addie Loeb seeing her first minutes this evening. Looking to go in there. Hardy, another steal. Here comes Hyde all the way across. Looking down low for Mags. She'll kick it out. Addie Loeb, a 3. That one a little too short, but Stewart, the easy putback. And the lead's up to 24. Largest of the evening so far. I'll look to kick it out. A 3 for the Hawks, no good. Nice save that time, but Hardy will come up with it. Man, Morales really trying that time. It's a 3-on-2, and they're going to say it's off as Stewart out of bounds. Probably not going to get that call when you're up by 24 here in the second quarter, regardless of whether you touched it or not. That one intercepted again. Mags. I had a little pump fake by Hyde, trying to draw some contact. Stewart's just saying, hey, just go right up with it. That's what I do. Not everything requires the Joel Embiid slow motion pump fake that draws everyone up into the air for some reason. Stewart's like, hey, that pass needs to be a little bit higher. Hardy could sit on that water cooler and inbound it. Spartans pretty sharp here tonight as Loeb off back iron. Marshall the board. Stewart says, hey, I got size. Lay it on me, another 3. Stewart crashing the boards, won't get there quite in time. Loeb still itching for that first triple. Skying through the lane, unable to finish. Hardy comes down with another board. Somehow it always seems to be Alexis Hardy this evening, kick-starting the offense, and out driving through is Marshall, and we're going to have a travel called on her. One too many steps. Hawks scrambling to get anything accomplished. Maggs will lay it up ahead to Loeb. Loeb will corral it. Has to go somewhere with it. Finally gets it to Maggs. Maggs across to Stewart. Stewart the pump fake. Bangs it home. I won't say that's been a quiet night for Amaya Stewart. She has only 14 so far. Finally, 2:34. The first bucket of the contest for the Hawks comes by Shane Morales. So finally gets to cross that off their to-do list, and a travel again by the Hawks. I'll say this is something that Coach Anders has done really well with this squad. You've seen them over the past couple of years. You've seen what a defensive presence they've been. Some of that is, you have Amaya Stewart as that anchor right in the middle. She deters an awful lot coming into the paint. But then you surround her with a bunch of tenacious defenders who are constantly interrupting passing lanes, constantly with, throwing their hands up, wreaking havoc. Now under 2 to play here in the second. And a 3 finally dropped in by Addie Loeb. She's been itching for it. Finally getting there just in time. That one no good. Ball loose on the hardwood after it slips out of the hands of Maggs. I think it was stripped out, actually. That one tipped, and, well, they're going to call an over and back, and hate to tell them that was the wrong call. It was deflected by a Spartan defender into the backcourt. It's not an over and back when it's deflected by a defender. Back to referee school, I guess. Up by 27 are the Spartans. Hardy thinking 3. Late closeout. That one too strong. Stewart won't get there in time. One minute left here in the first half. 33-6. It's been that kind of night here for the Hawks, and quite honestly, we've had a whole slew of broadcasts like this. We went through the YO schedule, and, as much as they have struggled against some non-league opponents, as that 3 is a little short, and, Stewart gets clobbered that time. Hits the hardwood. Totally unintentional. Nobody's looking to throw bows with the reigning Berks Player of the Year. An all-state forward, Amaya Stewart. Yeah, nobody's attempting to do that. A 3 by Loeb, no good. Stewart nearly comes down with it, but it will go off a Hawk out of bounds. Hardy. Looking fine, Stewart. Stewart will just chuck it up, and this time a 3 from the far corner for Amaya Stewart. Dare I say that she's been quiet. 17 here in the first half now. I'll try to throw it out. Spartans, as Mark Zumoff would say, locking all windows and doors, as Marshall that time picking off the pass. Barely any fouls called here. That one just the second for either side, really. Stewart thinking 3 again. Stewart not going to hit the 3, but she will finish with 17 in the half. Hardy with 4, Maggs with 2, Hyde with 5, Anders with 2, Loeb with 3, and Paolini also with 2. The math is a little bit easier for Hamburg, I hate to say it. Gassert with 2, Morales with 3. She's the only one to actually put one through the basket. that wasn't from the foul stripe, and Della Monica with 1 for the Hawks. So a lot to talk about in the locker room if you're Hamburg, maybe a little bit less so if you're Wyo, but more to come regardless of how you split it. It is a 30-point halftime lead here for the Spartans. Wyo will, and I will go jumping down so I can celebrate youth basketball night with my team, who is about to take their spot on the court to be recognized. So we're going to cut loose here for halftime, show some love to sponsors, and when we return, we will have second half action. That's why I was trying to get all that stuff out of the way first. But we will have second half action right here on the Spartan Sports Network.
This week's Iron Valley Real Estate Showcase of Homes. 105 Windsor Street in Reading has large living spaces and a newly remodeled kitchen on the first floor, which give way to 2 different stairways to the upstairs, where 3 bedrooms and 1 bath await. 165 Octagon Avenue in Sinky has 2 tastefully updated baths, new AC and gas heater, a kitchen with some new appliances, and a great shaded backyard. Don't miss the opportunity to make these charming homes your own. Schedule a viewing today by calling Iron Valley at 484-450-8771. Iron Valley Real Estate. Make your move. The new Birdie's Inn is Exeter's family spot with great food and beverages and activities for all ages. There's a full selection of beverages to go with your meal or while you watch a game on one of the 35 TVs. For the kids, there's a family game area, as well as darts and a pool table. You can eat in the indoor dining room or out on the spacious heated deck. The new Birdie's Inn at 160 Old Friedensburg Road at 5 Points in Exeter. Proud sponsors of Berks County High School athletics.
At Birdie's Inn we meet again.
Discover the power of choice with Goosehead Insurance, the Coley Insurance Group. Coley Insurance Group is a fully independent insurance agency here to put you first. With access to 30-plus top-rated insurance carriers, they ensure you get the best coverage at the best price. Whether it's auto, home, or life insurance, they've got you covered. At Goosehead Insurance, the power of choice is always yours. Call Goosehead Insurance agent Brad Coley today at 484-838-6088. Mortgage America is Berks County's premier local mortgage lender. Why choose Mortgage America? They're a fully licensed regional mortgage banker, not just a broker. They service their own loans and offer a full menu of mortgage programs. Their turnaround times and service are unmatched in the industry, big enough to provide the best rates, yet small enough to provide personal service. Local loans for local homes. Contact Chris 9 at Mortgage America today at 610-376-1755. You're watching the Spartan Sports Network on Jerry Gelliff Media.
Adding your own flavor to fashion comes with age.
Okay, Dad, look at you.
Yeah, welcome. Hi.
Forgetting how to add doesn't. Finding it difficult to work with numbers may be a sign of Alzheimer's.
Dad, are you okay?
An early diagnosis can help improve the quality of life for your loved one. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's. Some things come with age, some others don't.
Food isn't just fuel to live, it's fuel to grow. My family relied on public assistance to help provide meals for us. These meals fueled my involvement in theater and the arts as a child, which fostered my love for acting. The Feeding America network of food banks helps millions of people put food on the table. When people are fed, futures are nourished. Join the movement to end hunger, and together we can open endless possibilities for people to thrive. Visit feedingamerica.org/actnow.
You know, a lot of people say when you're going somewhere, you don't want to look back. But I beg to differ. For her to see her father celebrate his graduation, it's the best feeling in the world. I can't lie and say it was easy. But sometimes you just have to stop everything and take it in. I looked at everything in a different light. And I realized it started with me going back and getting my high school diploma.
Back here just in time for second half action. Right after I ran up and down the death stairs back here once again to try to get down onto the court for the girls' youth basketball night. Coach my first grade daughter's team. We are officially the Swifties. They got to pick their team name, and I told them only one team can be the Swifties, so it better be you. And they were all 100% behind that idea. So they are the Swifties, going up against like the Spartans, the Spartan Ballers, the Wyomissing Warriors. Get out of here! Get out of here with those names. Swifties for life. We actually had a really good game on Sunday. I'm very proud of them. So, every single game you figure out what they can learn a little bit better, what you can teach them, and move on from there. And not all that dissimilar from how we work here at the high school level, too. Hamburg with a few things to learn here. They will come out of the timeout in a zone defense this time, trying to shut down the middle. Try to triple team on Stewart, and instead Wyo just says, all right, well, you want to do that, you better rotate. That time Casey Maggs, an easy 2 from the far corner. Maggs, another steal. I swear she's going to have double-digit steals by the end of this as Marshall dipping in. She'll go to the stripe. Lily Marshall, really one of the only Spartans not to get on the score sheet here in the first half. Audrey Hurlman, her first game of the season. The other one to not quite get over the hump there, but almost everyone else able to get off the schneid as Marshall will look to do so here on her second free throw attempt. Bangs that one in. So Marshall has opened her scoring account here. Lead now back to 33. Nice job by Marshall on defense. And that one is a backcourt violation. Got that one right. That one wasn't tipped by Wyo into the backcourt. Yes, when you're down by 33, there's really no use in arguing ticky-tack calls like that. Now Hamburg moving their feet a little bit. The original starters out there, Marshall, Hardy, Hurlman, Maggs. And touching it now was Maya Stewart, who throws it away. Turnaround jumper from right at the stripe is true. Nora Davey getting the Hawks on the board here in the second half as Stewart will answer at the other end. 19 now for her. Right on her average, about 19.4. Floating that one up. Hurlman saves it from going out of bounds over the back of her head. So Hardy will drop it off. Maggs a 3. It is 8:23. The bank not open this late. Big ol' steps that time by the Hawks. As that time Gassert got a little ahead of herself. But they will come away with 2 at the stripe. As Morales will head back there. She was 1 of 2 back in the first quarter. Hamburg coming in some position here in District 3 as I try to pull up the current power rankings. Back the other way, a 3. That one left short. Hyde will drop it to Maggs, and they'll restart the offense again. As of right now, Wyo, the third-ranked team in 4A. Hamburg currently the 15th-ranked school. That one up no good. Trying to push the envelope that time. And once again, it's Maggs. Stewart, a step-back 3. She was definitely fouled on that attempt. Won't get the call. It goes out of bounds. They'll say that it was tipped. Hamburg not really in that madcap dash for the 10th and final playoff seed. That is going to be really interesting here towards the end. We're going to have a push-off called on Hamburg. or push-off called on Spartans, sorry. It'll be on Mags, her third. Team second. Dipping in, unable to get to that time. Stewart pulls down the board. Yeah, if you take a peek at where Hamburg is, so they take 10 for the tournament as Hardy the miss, Stewart the putback. They take the top 10. Hamburg is right on that cusp of not going to make it. Susquehanna is right on that cusp as well, just based on power ranking. It's highly unlikely. But you have Big Spring, Bishop McDevitt, and Bermudian Springs all kind of nip and tuck, all right there. That power rating, eerily close. They all start with a 5-6. So once you start getting into how close all of that is, it really starts coming down to how you perform at the end of the season. So we'll see how that ends up shaking out. That will have some ramifications for the Spartans. They'll swing it across. A three by Anders off back iron. Little Euro step that time, trying to make something happen, was Della Monica. All the way up ahead to Amaya Stewart, who lays it in. Easy peasy. 23 for Stewart. The Great Dane running the court that time like one. Leading the charge on the fast break. Very similar storyline to when they played teams like Schuylkill Haven. Last time these two teams met, it was 45-15. Spartans tracking slightly ahead of that. Hardy the miss. Stewart the putback. 25 now for Amaya. Looking to drag that average on up. And I believe that may be it for Amaya Stewart, as looks like Paolini may be checking in for her. Eddie Loeb also checking in. Would not be that unusual. Stewart had 18 against the Hawks the first time around. That time they built up a 22-9 scoreline in the first quarter before outscoring the Hawks by a dozen in the second. Held them scoreless in the third, and then by that time it was pretty much decided. But Stewart with 18, Hardy with 12, Addie Loeb with 6 the last time they met. All coming from threes. It was Asenia Pinter leading the way for the Hawks last time with 4 points. Gyers with 3. This is full timeout. Allow some substitutions. Like we have Della Monica, Davey. Still have Gassert out there for the Hawks. Gassert was held to 2 points against the Spartans the first time around. It really has been kind of a renaissance year for her. More than doubling her scoring average from last year as Anders, well, that ball skips over the end line. It'll stay with the Spartans. She did put up 22. Like we mentioned before against Northern Lebanon, not happening here. Her scoring more or less has come in spurts. 19 against Tulpe, 18 against Conrad Weiser, 13 against Boone. Really figure things out here over the last 8 games or so, where she has been in double figures every single game. And unless something changes here, not going to get there tonight. Just 3 on the scoreboard right now. That 30-second timeout will switch things up a little bit. Now we get to see Spartans out here. Hardy, Paolini, Anders, Addie Loeb, and Carly Hyde. 5 out on the hardwood right now. Lead sits at 39. And a running clock the rest of the way here. Wyo not one to take the air out of the basketball. That one tipped. Nice active hands there by the Hawks. Loeb was thinking three for a second. Instead, they'll restart the half court. Already slashing, gets two more. Felt like that one was coming for a long while here in the second half. She now has 6. And the lead sits at 41. That one tipped by Anders, intercepted. Anders this time will hold it up. Paolini driving the floater, gets a friendly roll. Lilly now with 4, and the lead sits at 43. It's going to be a quick fourth quarter here on the Spartan Sports Network. That clock ain't stopping for anything. Neither are the Spartans as they look to close out the end of their regular season. Paolini, speaking of closeouts, excellent job there getting the swat. Put back no good. Now Paolini right on ahead will throw it up off the backboard. And yeah, sure, count it as a pass. Carly Hodd cleaning up the mess. She now has 7. Lead at its largest at 45. Another interception for the Spartans. Up ahead, once again, Paolini. That'll do it. 55-8. I'll say it again. 55-8. Your score after 3. Not a typo. Not a verbal typo. Thank you. That's a Kenny Mayne, like an oral typo. I'll tell the story when we get back because the fourth quarter is going to be fun. So, and there might have been a technical foul there, and well, may not matter much as Morales misses the first. I don't know what the technical foul stemmed from, but they will shoot 2 anyway. Tack on here at the end of the half and ended up missing both. And now we got one more. Might have been fouled there at the end and misses all 3. So not gonna work here anymore. That's a Office Space joke. Anyway, we'll be back. 47-point lead for the Spartans when we return on the Spartan Sports Network. Do one quick.
The new Birdie's Inn is Exeter's family spot with great food and beverages and activities for all ages. There's a full selection of beverages to go with your meal or while you watch a game on one of the 35 TVs. For the kids, there's a family game area as well as darts and a pool table. You can eat in the indoor dining room or out on the spacious heated deck. The new Birdie's Inn at 160 Old Friedensburg Road at 5 Points in Exeter. Proud sponsors of Berks County High School athletics.
At Birdie's Inn we meet again.
(55-8) here in the fourth. Running clock all around for the last 8 minutes. Like I said, should be pretty quick on out of here as Paolini is fouled. That will stop the clock. Dang it. Now they'll stop it with 7:41. That one, nothing but air. Bangs home the and one. Loeb hits the first. And the second. Loeb with 5. About on her average as well. 32nd timeout taken here by Hamburg. Stops the clock with 6:19 left in the contest. 58-11. Your score thus far. It has been an interesting one. Let's go as far as saying that. 2 points in the first quarter for Hamburg, 4 in the second, 2 in the third, 3 here in the fourth. Wyo was up by 47. That's currently where it still stands after a couple minutes gone by here in the fourth. Stewart finishes with 25. She will most certainly be the leading scorer for either side, and Stewart back into the game here. Not sure if they're looking to tack on to her scoring average here late. But up by 47, Spartans will roll with a healthy bit of their starting lineup. Cause a turnover there. Bit surprising from Coach Anders with an important game against Schuylkill Valley on the horizon. It's Hardy dipping in, getting 2 more. She has 8. But on the other side of things, it is senior night. It'll be the last time that we get to celebrate as seniors here on this home court. These will get changed up a little bit once we hit BCIAAs. Certainly districts. Once again, looking to swing it around. That one tipped out. Looking down low to the left block for Buckley. Belong to the Spartans. Spartans right now with 2 teams ahead of them here in 4A. One is Lancaster Catholic, and by golly, they are a juggernaut. And there you go. You got Audrey Hurlman on the board here. That's what we were hoping for. First game of the season, first points of the season for Hurlman. That's got to be a good feeling. Finally get back in the scoring column. Marshall will be replaced by Campbell here. (62-11). It's a 51-point advantage, the largest of the game here for the Spartans. A 3. Campbell, real anxious to launch that one. Big grin on her face. Missed everything though. Now we get to pay a little bit of love. Hurlman will check out now with some points on the board. Exciting time for her. I believe also an excellent lacrosse player. Committed to North Carolina. That's not bad. So I'm sure she's thrilled to get back on the hardwood here to finish up. Hardy will slam on the brakes and kick it out to Campbell. Now they'll swing it around. Kayla Shippers into the contest for her first minutes. Stewart, little jab step, taking the 3. That one goes up and over. Wanted to do that right in front of the student section, no doubt. Now it goes Alexis Hardy. Okay. And now you can see the method to Coach Anders' madness here. Get the seniors back in, and they are all going to get their chance. There's that one. 3 up and no good, but Brindle will lay it back up and in. But every senior now will get their own round of applause leaving the hardwood. As Stewart aiming for a 3 again. Campbell giving chase. And I think that will do it for Amaya Stewart, and it most certainly will. Amaya Stewart gets a rousing ovation and some MVP chants. That's not how it works, but sorry, it's called Burke's Player of the Year, not MVP. Yeah, I know it's the same thing. And Stewart most certainly on her way to be named once again Player of the Year. Lopez getting 2 for the Hawks. Finally found a little bit here in the fourth. 7 for them. A nice left hand put up by Shippers gets 2. Dad, a sitting member of school board. Shippers with the left hand. Able to make things happen. A 3 launched that time. Was put up, some head shaking going on. Clock will continue to run here inside of 1 minute. They will now finally stop it. So I believe they said this was Detweiler. And it is. Kayla misses the first. That one doesn't hit anything. It'll be a dead ball rebound. And the Spartans can more or less drain the clock here. It's not necessarily their MO. They will allow these players to play a little bit. Not looking to bleed air. But this one well in Wyo's pocket as Shippers, the right-handed floater, no good. Campbell, the rebound, no good. Shippers, the putback. Well, if you're Wyo, you're just about done here. Got a couple games left on the docket. Less than Hamburg does, that's for sure. Wyo this time will just drain the clock. And this is how it will finish. 66-15. Your final score here in Wyomissing. It was never in doubt. A 19-0 run to start the contest was never matched in any way, shape, or form. And, you know, that's how some of the games that we call just are going to end up falling. And it most certainly has here for Wyo. You can kind of see the build-up a little bit that, unfortunately, Hamburg, just not enough firepower. You could see who they were playing. They weren't blowing teams out in the same fashion that Wyo was. So you're like, all right, you can kind of see how this one's going to go. And it went exactly the way that you thought it might. As the Spartans now a perfect 10-0 at home. They will look to continue that tomorrow evening against Schuylkill Valley. In a game that we will not be calling here because we do have the Thursday boys game, which we will have here as they take on Brandywine Heights. But at least for this one, 66-15 your final score. And darn near everybody got up onto the scoreboard this time around. As, without a doubt, you had Amaya Stewart. She was trying to tack on a few extra late there. Wasn't going to happen. But she ends up finishing with 25 to lead all scorers. Alexis Hardy right on her tail. Oh, right on her tail. She had 8 to be the second leading scorer for the Spartans. Carly Hyde ended up with 7 off the pine. So excellent job by her as well. And then everybody more or less contributed in some fashion or another, which is pretty impressive here. And certainly take a look at, like I said, Hardy, who had 8. Carly Hyde with 7. You had Lily Paolini with 7, most of which coming here in the second half to help close things out. Addie Loeb with 5. Kayla Shippers with 4 in garbage time. Casey Maggs also getting 4 points, 2 in each half for the Spartans. And then you had 2 for Anders, which I think I already said. And really important, Audrey Hurlman, like I said, getting off the schneid a little bit, coming back. Her first game back from injury, so important for her to get on the board. She had her first bucket, so hopefully that will get her kick started here as she looks to test out that knee here in the late goings of the season. But no better time for her to add in some senior leadership as Wyo once again just decimating some competition here. Coming off of a 37-point win against Ole Valley. Before that, it was an 18-point win against Downingtown West, 20 points against Tulpe, a 48-point win against Antietam. Then you have a 55-point win against Fleetwood, a 28-point win against Twin Valley, a 54-point win against Kutztown, a 30-point win at Hamburg the first time these teams played. Whew. So this one pretty much right on par with a 66-point effort. And like I said, this one finishing 66-15. Not an awful lot going on for Hamburg. They will round out their schedule and finish up. They will end their schedule against Schuylkill Valley. But before that, they will also have Fleetwood on Thursday, as that will likely be the end of their schedule. But for Wyo, like I said, they have Hamburg on Tuesday, which they easily dispatched of. You have Schuylkill Valley tomorrow night. Then you're on the road to finish up. You're at Brandywine Heights, at Fleetwood, at Exeter Township. And, certainly each team comes with its unique set of challenges, but all should be relatively in hand. Brandywine is 10-8. They're 8-3 within the division, but they are playing Berks Forest. So they play Ole Valley, who Wyo took care of rather easily. Same with Kutztown, same with Antietam, same with Tulpe. I would anticipate that would also be another win on the schedule here coming up. And then you have Fleetwood, who's 1-8 within Berks 3, 4-14 overall. They already lost to Wyo by 55 the first time that they met, so that's probably, hopefully, another W on the schedule. And then finishing up against Exeter Township. Exeter, bit of a down year, missing Grace Reedy, obviously, but they are currently 7-12, 3-7. We'll have that final game as we cross streams with the Exeter Sports Network, and we'll have that one for you towards the end of the season. But as for right now, that's how I am going to leave this one. 66-15, your final score. We will be back on air on Thursday as the boys will be facing Brandywine Heights, which we will have right here for you on the Spartan Sports Network. So thank you all to our sponsors. Thank you to Chris for producing. Thank you to Jerry for pulling all this together. And thank you to everyone for listening in. Because, if you're not doing that, we don't have anyone to talk to, I guess. So please keep tuning in. Please keep leaving your comments, likes, dislikes. If you hate me, love me, I'm here for all of it. So, like I said, 66-15, your final score. Wyo cruises to their 14th victory of the season here this evening. And we'll have more of their action later on next week when they play Exeter. But for now, the boys on Thursday. Make sure that you tune in right around the 7:15 start time right here on the Spartan Sports Network. So thank you for tuning in, everyone. We will see you on Thursday. Great win tonight for the Spartans, and we'll look to keep it rolling, finishing off this regular season. Thanks, everyone, again. Have a great night.
Thank you for joining us on the Spartan Sports Network for Wyomissing Girls Basketball. Brought to you by the New Birdies Inn at 5 Points in Exeter, Mortgage America, and Goosehead Insurance, the Coley Insurance Group. Join us all season long for exciting Wyomissing Girls Basketball here on the Spartan Sports Network. This has been a presentation of Jerry Gelliff Media. Good night.